If you're looking to start your own online business, or perhaps you're struggling to grow your current one, did you know there's a simple way to grow your business to 6 figures and more? It's not complicated, and I've taught this to over 3,000 clients now. So in this video, I'll show you the simple funnel that's helping my clients build 6-figure online businesses. I'll show you everything so you can just model it. So let's jump in. In this video, I'll walk you through the simple funnel that helps my clients build 6-figure businesses. And the best bit is you don't need a website, you don't need testimonials, you don't need results from current clients, you don't need to post on social media all day. And quite frankly, you can do this if you're starting from scratch. So it's helped clients like Tara go from 0 to 6-figure business in just 8 months. It helped Evan bring in 6 figures cash alongside his full-time job. It even helped Luke bring in 6 figures in his first year of business. Even Marcus over here was able to replicate this as well. And look, I've taught this process to over 3,000 clients now. So if you want the strategy, a simple funnel to build a 6-figure business, I'll walk you through what it looks like and what we teach our clients right here in this video. I'll walk you through the exact strategy, A to Z, so you can model it. And then I'll even show you some of the content that we actually show, or that our clients show their prospects to help seal the deal, close more deals. I'll show you the math breakdown of exactly how you scale this to 6 figures. So if you're starting from scratch, or if you're already working with clients online, this is going to help you. So let's jump in. So on my screen right now, you're going to see the framework. Okay, so if I show you here, this is one of the funnels that we run. Okay, so we launch paid ads, sponsored ads on Facebook or Instagram. Okay, the reason why we do that, that's where the majority of the audience is. Okay, and so we launch over here, Facebook, Instagram, we pay Facebook for an ad. So instead of paying with your time, okay, which is posting on social media, all of this jazz, we just give Facebook a little bit of money, and it helps validate if your offer is going to work quicker, right? Because you're paying to get it in front of your ideal prospects. So we launch an ad just there. Then we send them, as soon as people click on the ad, they go into Messenger. So not a website, because if you think about a website's really confusing. It's got an about you page. It's got a testimonial page, maybe it's got a services page, a pricing page. So you're just turning people into window shoppers. So they don't take the action that you want them to take. So with that in mind, what you need is a funnel. Okay, a funnel, exactly like this on the screen, is just a simple way of taking a prospect from when they first see you into a sales call and then into a client, ideally, with as least or as easily as possible. Okay, so as soon as somebody clicks on the ad, they go from the ad into a Messenger conversation. Now, inside of Messenger, you can then control the conversation. You can follow up with your leads, and you can actually build trust. You can establish rapport. You can qualify them. Okay, and plus, Messenger has 95% plus open rates, right? So more people are going to see it, right? And so if you think about the old way that people are doing is sending people to websites and these complex sites and web pages, they're probably not going to book a call in with you, right? Whereas if they click on an ad, they're in the Messenger conversation, you can immediately speak to them, right? So you're able to build that trust and establish rapport. And then ideally from there, schedule them in for a meeting, okay, or a consultation, a call, if they're qualified. Now, some people will do this themselves, right? So some people you'll set some automations up inside of the Messenger, and they will then have the opportunity to book themselves in as well. I'll show you what this looks like in a sec. I'll give you an actual walkthrough so you can see it. And then once they've scheduled a meeting, you then provide them with some homework. Okay, so this homework is designed to build trust, again, provide value up front before having a potential sales call on Zoom. Okay, now the reason why you would do that, a lot of people start by growing their business through referrals or through your own contact list, so what we call a warm audience. Okay, now when you're selling to a warm audience, a lot of the selling's already being done because there's a lot of trust there. And plus, if it's a referral, they've already kind of made a buying decision. But when you're taking somebody from clicking an ad to immediately getting onto your calendar in like the same day, they've never heard of you before. They don't know you. They're a stranger. So you've got to have something inside of your funnel that bridges that gap as soon as possible. Otherwise, there's a lot of hard work and legwork that needs to be done on the actual sales call. Okay, and especially if you're starting from scratch, you're probably going to need to upgrade your sales skills. So you want to do some of the selling up front. So what we do is we provide some homework, and I'll show you what that exactly looks like in just a sec. We'll walk through it, and then you have the call on Zoom. Okay. Now, the great thing about this is not everybody's going to go through the funnel from bum, 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 and just walk through, right? A lot of people, they're not going to want to book in a call with you. Okay. And too many people freak out about this when they run ads. Oh, like my leads aren't booking in. Okay. But you only need to have like 10, ideally 20% of people book a call with you who come into your funnel. Okay. And then it's really just a case of making sure those people show up and then closing the deal, and you'll be great. Okay. So too many people freak out about that and they don't look at the numbers, but that's a different story. But what you can then do is, what we do is in Messenger, we collect things like email. We can then call them. We get the phone number. We then can put them into potentially a Facebook group, and you could then build trust and value over the time, because they might not trust you initially to book that call, right? But then you can bring them into your ecosystem and continue to market to them by sending them daily emails, or you can call them, you can SMS them. And I said, you could potentially build a Facebook group where you can put on weekly trainings, weekly workshops to educate your prospects. And then that way, they're eventually going to go back to the point where they book a call. Okay. So not everybody's going to be ready to book. So this is one way. And then we use something very, very similar. Is the only difference is on this model is people will use, for example, an instant form. Okay. So this is on Facebook. Generally what we find is you get cheaper leads. So the only difference is, instead of coming into Messenger, they fill out a form that populates on Facebook. And I'll actually show you this model in just a second. The rest of the funnel is the same. Okay. So this way you don't have them in Messenger, but you're able to SMS, call, and give them the opportunity to book themselves in. Okay. Rest of the funnel is exactly the same. Okay. So both work, both are super simple, and you probably want to test both, but let's actually have a look at this in action. Okay. And then I'll show you the math breakdown of how you build a 6-figure business with it. So here's an example on my Facebook. So if I scroll down, here's an example ad. Okay. Now, this would get placed super simple. We're working with teachers. We're helping teachers get online students, right? So private students. So this is just a dummy copy that I've put together just for the purpose of this. It's just child struggling to keep up with SAT math prep. Here's what we want you to do. Here's our program, general ad copy stating the offer, and a big bold image, right? This is really important, because what this does is it grabs attention on the newsfeed. Okay. And anybody can start with this, right? You don't need to be good on video or anything like that. That helps you improve and build more trust and rapport. But this is something simple you can start with. And then what happens is people click the learn more button and they just click continue. And now what you do is you qualify the right people, because you don't want everybody clicking into your funnel and giving you that information. You want to make sure the right people, your ideal prospects, come in. So you're going to ask them a qualifying question, okay, before they fill this out, to confirm you're filling this out because you have a teen in 7th to 9th grade, for example, you look to help them boost their SAT score. Yes, that's correct. No, that's not me. So at this point, if that's not my ideal prospect, they're going to say, no, that's not me, and you disqualify them. Okay, so I'm going to say, yes, that's correct. We click continue, and then you're going to ask them some other qualifying questions if you want to. And what you're doing here is you're selling the opportunity of online tutoring, for example. Okay. Then they fill out their email, their name, their phone number, that type of stuff, and they click continue. Okay. They then submit it. Thanks, you're all set. You can visit our website or exit the form now. This is just an example one, but generally you would have a better confirmation message saying, hey, here's the next steps. 1, book in a call with me. 2, I'll be sending you some preparation work to help you prepare for the call. And this should just load up a simple calendar, right? It looks like this, and then they just book a date and time. Now, not everybody's going to book a date and time with you. And the same thing happens in Messenger as well. So if you're using the Messenger model, people are just going to click the Messenger button. It will go in, click the link on ad. It will go into their Messenger instead of a populated form on Facebook. Generally, you'll find cheaper leads with the form, but that doesn't always mean better leads, right? And so if you can get the Messenger one working, we definitely find that's probably better because it allows you to contact them in multiple ways: message, phone, and email. Okay. But this was the instant form model. And then from there, they book a call. And like I said, not everybody's going to book a call, but you can now call them. You can SMS them. You can email market to them. Okay. And then so from there, what you do is you need to give them some prep work before the call. Once people have booked in a call with you. Guys, quick interrupt. I hope you're enjoying the video, but I wanted to make sure you picked up your copy of Teaching on Your Own Terms. It's my best-selling book, and it shares with you the exact 5 steps
I've used with over 2,000 teachers at this point, helping them build their dream online teaching businesses. It went to bestseller in 7 categories. It's been featured by NASDAQ in Times Square, New York City. And I know you're going to love it. Inside of the book, you're going to learn things like how to position yourself as the go-to tutor in the marketplace and the offer that you can create to get your ideal students reaching out and how to communicate that. I'll share with you what I've seen as the best advertising strategies to get in front of new students and parents who want what you've got, how to sell your services, and everything you actually need to include in an online group tutoring business to make sure your students crush it and get great results. There's some free gifts and bonuses in there. I think in the first couple of pages, there's a link. You can go and grab some free gifts on me, but I know you're going to love it. Teaching on your own terms. I'll leave a link down below in the comments and go and pick up your copy today.
Here's a little example of what our clients might send someone before a call. So I'll break this down for you. And so this would be something you would reach out and say, hey, before the call, and you can set up some automations as well. So for example, as soon as they book in a call, they get a confirmation message via email, via SMS that you can set up in an automation. Hey, here's a document to help you prepare for the call that will help us hit the ground running and show you how I can help your child boost their SAT score, for example. Okay. So what you do is you just break down who this is for to make sure that you're getting the right people in, okay? And you're trying to resonate them with perhaps where, so for example, we're helping tutors, right, with their students. So the tutor is really going to try and resonate with perhaps with where the parent or the child or teen or student is currently at in their journey. Why do they want help? So this is for students who feel overwhelmed, anxious when taking SAT math problems, when tackling, need a clear, tailored plan. So the parents are going to read and say, yep, that's me. Okay. And then you give some info on what it is you do. So what do we do? You're building credibility, establishing authority here. And then you're talking about how your method works. Okay. So what's different about you? What do you do differently to other tutoring companies, for example? So you can see here, how does it work? And it's basically a roadmap. So if you think about a chiropractor who's taking a client for a rehabilitation plan to improve back pain, they give them a rehab plan, right? Here's what we're doing week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Here's the treatment plan. So you essentially need to map out a treatment plan for your students, okay? Then you're talking about as well, what do they get, okay, when they sign up to work with you? We have 2 live lessons on Zoom each week. You get an online course. You get a mastermind group, for example. You get weekly office hour sessions, assessments, and review sessions. This is obviously just an example. And then you might talk about what are the benefits of tutoring. Because remember, if you're taking someone who's cold meaning they've only just heard of you, and plus they might not even be solution aware yet. So in this case, for tutors, solution aware is meaning the parent or the child or teen, student knows that they've got a problem in their learning, and they know the solution is to have a tutor. You're not going to speak to everybody who's solution aware, right? So you've got to educate the majority of the marketplace who are going to see this ad because it spiked their interest on the benefits of tutoring and potentially get them to buy into it. And so this is really important because they then come into a call and they're going to be excited. You've educated them already, so you don't have to do a lot of that on the call, right? It's going to eliminate some objections. Okay, then if you've got testimonials and results, you can talk about testimonials and results. Some of your students, if you've got images, stuff like that, you can definitely use them. So it's just a simple Google document, right? And then next steps, note down any questions before the call. On the call, here's what we're going to do, because you've got to sell the call to get people to show up, right? And you're obviously going to have to follow up with your prospects to confirm the call. And then if you give this document, but what we've done here is, for example, you can record, just like I'm doing here, a simple screen share video. Give them the screen share video that actually walks through the document, because then they can hear you speaking and talking as well at the same time, okay? So that's just a Loom for Chrome. You can see on the screen extension, okay? And that's really it. And then, so the next thing is the math behind how this works, which I'll show you right now, okay? So if we look at this math, all you would then do, now if you don't have any students, remember this is a long-term game. A lot of people fail with their goals, right? Because they're after short-term gratification. So we might suggest to some of our clients, hey, your first few clients, just take them on for a 30-day trial, case study, get some testimonials and results. It helps you long term. Okay, so you might do that and charge like 97 or whatever, 197 for 30 days for your first batch of few students, and then upsell them to get them to commit for longer. Okay, and that's easier to sell. But that would only just be for the first few students, again, so you can get testimonials, results that will set you up for long-term success. But then long-term, you really want to be charging somewhere between 500 to $1,000 and above for 12 weeks. Okay, that's really important, this pricing model, because if you're just stuck charging by the hour, you're faced with a ton of cancellations, zero, margin to keep investing back into the paid advertising, which means it's hard to grow, it's hard to scale. And so you can't spend a lot on the ads. So you need a lot of your clients and students to pay upfront for a book. Okay, so 12 weeks, great time frame. Most people can commit to 90 days, which is give or take 90 days, right? And now we do have tutors that we work with charge upwards of $3,500 for 12 weeks. Obviously, they didn't start there. Okay, they have to get there, right? And that happens through running this model, getting good at sales, getting more results, and then you can definitely hike your price up. But a beginner starting with this can probably charge something around that to get going. Okay. Now let's say that if you're running groups, so again, the model on groups is key. Okay. So you don't want to be selling your time one-on-one, because again, you're going to place a price tag on your time, what it's worth per hour. And then your clients are going to be comparing what they're paying you versus what they could potentially pay other people per hour. Okay. Whereas when you price it over time frame, they're more focused on the result. Okay. Not what goes on in a 1 hour session. So you teach them 5 students in a group. That group of 5 students has 2 1-hour classes per week. If you're only charging 500, I'd probably just go 1 hour. Okay. But let's say we're charging $1,000, 2 1-hour classes a week. Let's say you've got 10 students, you've got 2 groups. Okay. That's just 4 hours of teaching. If you've got 2 groups of 5 students, 10 students, of course, with 2 of 5, and each group is seeing you twice a week. Okay. 4 hours. Okay. And you've just netted 10K total if you were selling at $1,000. That's already a 6-figure run rate, right? Then if you scale this to 5 groups, 5 times 5, 25 students, 5 groups twice a week, 5 times 2, 10 hours of teaching. Yeah. That's $25,000 then every 12 weeks. So that's about $100K a year. That's the 6-figure business model. Okay. Now that's just you at minimum. Okay. Now you can scale it. So you can either increase your rate, you increase your group size, you can hire other tutors to help you. So an example of this is, for example, 10 students per group, $200,000 a year. Okay. Because you doubled your business, right? You've just gone from 5 students to 10. Double your business like that. It's really just about more at this stage. So another example, hire 2 tutors. So it's 3 of you now, you and 2 other tutors, tripled your business, $300,000 a year. Okay, so this is really all it comes down to. Obviously, you do need to get good at sales, but you don't need to overcomplicate things. This is really the simple model that we've taught to, thousands of clients now. And the clients that I showed you at the start are all using this to build 6-figure businesses. So if you're a teacher in the classroom, or you're an online tutor and you want more predictable student acquisition, like I said, if you're just a teacher who wants to get started and you want more income, more impact, and you want to have a model where you're in control of your schedule, this is what works. It's worked for thousands of teachers. It can work for you as well. So the best way to get started is probably a link down below inside this video. Click it and book in a call with my team, and we'll be able to help you get started. We'll map out a plan. We'll show you what type of price points you could potentially charge based on the subject that you speak, and how you could actually get this model set up for you, and how we can help you do that so you can scale your income, your impact, but not your time. Okay, so click the link down below the video if you want to get help with this, or hit the subscribe, hit the like button based on where you're watching it, and I'll see you in the next one.